Hello guys, I welcome you to my channel Infotronics PTE, and in this video I'm very pleased to announce the code which may actually help to create my first graphical user interface application, and I'm going to explain the code to you as well, and also going to display the result, and hopefully you're going to like the basic application and the concept behind it. And obviously we're going to provide you some more of the logical videos based on programming and also based on coding as well. So in this video, what we did early on in our last video is that we imported pandas, installed pandas, numpy, and also we use them as to import the CSV files as well. So it was all based on the concept of scraping, and we can just get the results on our console with which is also of CSV file. So right now what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a button so that we can see, instead of actually following the path, we can have the button for it, so that it may directly link to us to the file, and that file results can be displayed on the console. So instead of actually typing in the whole path, we're going to create a button for it. So in that graphical user interface, obviously we're going to use all the different concepts. It's not just the one single button, but the related graphical widgets, and also the concepts, and also the graphical details or the widget details. We're going to mention that in our coding as well. The code is in front of you, which is like that. We have to start over with import tkinter as groundbreaking, and the standard is just to import tkinter as tk, but just for the sake of improvisation, as this is my first groundbreaking application or the interface, so that's why I've just named it. You can name it a TK as per the standard, and I also recommend you should use TK as well. And it is it is obviously a standard Python interface to the TK GUI toolkit, which normally comes with the Python as well. So with the help of tkinter, it is the module which you can import, and you can have all the details for having how you can create a button, how you can have all the widget details. So that is one of the basic tool and uncommonly used tool to create the frameworks, obviously, and also or not the frames also, and the containers, the widgets, the details in that. That's why we're going to use this module. So from this tkinter, you're going to import file dialog, which is used to open and save dialog box, which is obviously our main purpose of creating a dialog box and also creating a button. And from the same module, we're going to import scroll text for creating a box for actually inserting in the text, so that we can scroll up and down, and it's just for that reason. From tkinter, we're going to import the tab control as well, just for our graphical user interface. We're going to import that as well from the same module. Else you can use import all, and you can have it, but obviously defining it separately may help to run the program as well. So import pandas as pd, and as I said, pandas is for the what we have actually done it for the scraping purposes. So what we have done, it's used for our this frameworks, creating frameworks, data frames, and execution of the result, Okay, so what we want to have, I have created what you can say the instance, and want to actually create the instance as well, and the title after importing the pandas, and that is for the data frames, and also for the details in the data frames. So I have actually imported the pandas for creating the instance and title by giving it the name as root, which is the main window object, and groundbreaking .tk. You can have tk instead of groundbreaking, as I said earlier. So create instance, and root is the main window object, and tk, so clean name is none, that is the arguments, and one method, it is actually tk is one method to create the instance as well. So GUI, which is the graphical user interface, okay, that is one of the method to create the GUI window, the main window. And in that window, that will be, what will be the title of that main window object, and obviously giving us the root.title. I have given the name as Python GUI using pack, and you can have it when I'm going to display, you can see as well that title as well. So setting window size, just setting the window size in pixels. Then yet again you have to name use it the main window object root.geometry, giving it the pixels resolution, you can say, or the parameters, and I've taken this. You can change it by your own. You can see what the result would be. Frame is equal to frame, yet again by calling it by root, and calling it by the method pack. That is the essential requirement. You have to call it by the method, obviously, to display the result as well. The widget details are in front of you, labeling it, and label, and the widget details, my first GUI application. The font, the root actually is the main window object, the instance is necessary, is else are the options, the text, the font, and I've used Arial Bold. You can use any other font with the size as well, and I've the text details are my first GUI application. I've created the label, yet again calling it by pack method. Entry root, and entry, what is the entry? It is the entry of the the text, any other text relevant to the program. I may show you some personal entry text when I'm going to display it. And text .txt, obviously can naming it txt dot focus. Focus means that whenever we want to actually enter the text, the cursor will just highlight, or actually pops up, and to show that you can enter the details or enter the text. And yet again calling it by method pack. And a radio button, and just creating the radio button, calling it by pack, and radio button 1, 2, and 3. And I'll show you what would be the display result of the radio buttons. And obviously you can name it by any other text. I have named it by rank 1, rank 2, rank 3. You can name it any other text. It's really up to you. I'm not going to oppose that, but what is the calling it by the pack. And scrolled text mean root is equal to width 20 and height 10. And as you have, as I said, I've actually called it, imported from tkinter. And scroll text, the window will be in front of you, and I have actually of a window in front of you of the main object window. So giving it the widget details as well, yet again inserting the text in that scroll text window. And what we want to have codes as low as $9.99. I have quoted the price. If you want to have code, I can provide you at this price as well. So yet again calling it by the method, and also, which is the class method, and spin box, its root from starting from 0 to 100. Just clicking it at that spin box, and by having it this, you can rearrange or change the details of the widget. It's really up to you, yet again, by calling it by the method. So these details, the widget details, are not primarily linked to the whole insert of a whole button, which is used primarily just to import the CSV file, but these are interconnected concepts. Whenever you want to run some of more complex or more detail oriented software, these concepts are obviously come and you have to actually cater and have to provide the details as the client asks. Just to change this one, this detail, just put this button over here, just put this button over there. These are some of the small details you have to check. The flexibility you have to check the runtime as well, whether it will not disturb any other set parameters. That is really more of you can say a continuing process. You cannot say you have to actually maintain it, you have to check it, and you have to run it as well. So obviously you can have the add menu as well, and add menu is a button, and that may actually help. This also may help you when you are actually creating a website as well. Instead of actually naming it as a menu or a main menu, you can name any other title, and you can use the same concept of menu and for the details as well. A menu dot is equal to menu dot root. Obviously it is the main object, main window object, and as I have used the menu with this capitalized M, that is the standard, and obviously placing it in the main window object root, and yet again giving it a name menu. And when going to add any item in that menu, and that will be menu with the caps M, that is the standard, and obviously I have named it as menu with a small m, and a tear off is equal to 0. I have used tear off because obviously I have to remove the dotted lines. I will also explain when I'm going to run or display it as well. So the dotted lines normally come when you don't use the tear off, just use the menu as in capital M. The dotted lines will come just above the added item. So that is why, just to remove these dotted lines, I've used this small bit of the widget detail. And a new item, add command, that is also the user defined function. You have to add command by the label about us. The new item would be added by the label about us, and that about us is in which menu. It is in the menu with the label main menu. And add menu items to any menu by adding cascade. Okay, so you, by the help of add cascade, menu is obviously the name I've given to you with a small m, and I was given this program, so you have to call it by the attribute add cascade, labeling it, and obviously have the new menu as a new item. So yet again, the three requirements are essential. Add command, okay, and that add command is for the item, and a new item which is in the menu. Okay, so I have named the new item as well, which is about us by the label, and that about us need to be added into the main menu or to the menu, so which is with the name, which is by the label name main menu. So it's all you have. Then again, you have to configure as well. That is the last step. You have to configure menu is equal to menu, that your menu that you have called is now equal to the desired menu. So these that is why these are now being configured, and obviously that is why I've named it that. Now the configured menu and is equal to the name of the menu given to the whole concept. So that is how it's been configured, and the add menu has been added. You can use the same concept and you can use it to any other icons, or you can say to other button to with have other details or the button as well. With the add tab control, also tab that main same concept, okay, but obviously TTK is being imported from tkinter and .notebook, and that is the prerequisite. You have to use the notebook and to add the tab control. and yet again on the main window object, and giving it as a table, giving it a name table ttk.frame, and is a tab control, and tab control is equal to add tab 1 is text is equal to, by naming it as a text tab control, and tab control is pack, expand one, and fill both. Okay, so this is how it has been done. You can add tab control, you can move from one point to another. That may help actually just to work more smoothly, and to move from one point to another point within that GUI. So by the frame, which is now I have to actually create a sub widget frame to the main frame or the main object window. So that is where obviously on this frame I want to actually display the button, but obviously I have to create the frame first, then I have to actually create the button. That is for the importing the CSV file. So using the canvas concept, obviously naming as the canvas 1 is my name, groundbreaking is obviously the main window object. I have to actually put it on the main window object, and canvas is used to draw pictures and other complex layout like graphics, text, and widgets. That is why I have used this canvas to draw widget button for importing CSV file. So just giving it the root as a main object detail, obviously I have to canvases on the main object main window object. So giving the details, width, height, background color, relief, groove. You can have any relief type. It is solid, rigid, it is flat, or it's really up to you. There are plenty of rigid, flat, and also there's a groove as well is in front of you, and there are about 2 or 3 more as well. So you can have this relief type. You can have it if you check it. You want to check it on your own, and you can see that what would be the result. Another is, I believe, is sunk as well. Sunk is also one of the type, and you can check what will be the display result, so you can use as per your requirement. This is just to create the sub widget frame in the main frame or the main window object. So what we are doing here, obviously doing the pack, calling it by the pack method, and also the pack or the method is the geometry master class. Okay, that is the geometry master class pack method. And it is there are other as well, which also help you to have, which is great. And also you have another method. We're going to apply all three concepts in other coming videos as well, just to help you guys how you can use the other 2 methods to get the display results or the widget details as per your requirement, because the main root is the method that you call, and or the class that you use for all the display results. So create frame widget geometry master using pack. So you have to call it, which we have named it as canvas 1. And obviously if you want to have any other canvases, you can have it in the same interface. If you have one to as many canvas as per your requirement, which we may use later for our more advanced programming, but this is how you're going to use it. So this is how it's been done. So I'll hope let's see what we have for the create button as well. Okay, with the help of the create button by user defined function, we are going to create the next step is to create a button by user defined function. And for that reason I have to name a function which is fetch CSV. That is the whole purpose of this button, to actually import a CSV file. And for that reason I have named the function, defining it as fetch CSV, ending it at colon, and afterwards within that function I have to name or declare a global variable in case I have to modify outside the scope of this function. To obviously I have to use it locally yet again, but a global variable may help you actually to modify outside the scope of the function. That's the reason of the usage. And import file path, giving it the file as file dialog, that is used to open the dialog, and asking ask open file name. Okay, it is an attribute that may help you actually to open the file name, And in previous example, you may know that I've copy paste the path and actually copy and paste it on this command line, and eventually the details from the CSV file were fetched and were displayed on the console. And in this example, it is a reversed engineering. I have to do the reversed engineering. I have to click on the button that may take directly to the file through the path. So that is why I have to define the path as well, and it will read CSV file which is through pandas. That is why I have installed pandas that may help to read the CSV file, and I have defined this as yet again as a user defined function, as a data frame, and it will import the file path. Okay, so I'll have to print the data frame as well. So click add button, groundbreaking. I have instead of using the TK as I said earlier, I've used groundbreaking, and a click add button, and a dot. Yet again, it's the user defined function. Text name what you want to actually print on the text as well on that button, and it's the groundbreaking is, as I said earlier, is the main object, is the mainframe object. That is why in the mainframe object there is a window, there is a button. Okay, and the button has been named as the details are in front of you, the widget details are in front of you. We have to call it this widget by a command, fetch CSV. Okay, so background is cyan and foreground is magenta. Font is Frank-Sonti is 35 and bold, because that's my favorite font. You can name any font as per your requirement. Canvas 1, create window, and now I have to actually, canvas 1 was declared earlier. Okay, that was that because I have to actually create this button on the front of the canvas, because that was the frame, that is the sub widget frame to main frame. Okay, I've actually corrected it. It is a sub widget frame to main frame, so that is why I've used it. And now on that frame, on that canvas, this button would be displayed. For that reason I have to use it, but obviously the whole is on the main object, main window object, that is groundbreaking. So yet again I have to move from groundbreaking, from button to groundbreaking, and then yet again I have to create a window. Okay, by user defined function add canvas, giving the details 150 height, 150 width, and the window is click add button, which is yet again the click add button at the main window object. So that is whole together main window object, the frame with the sub widget frame, and also the sub widget frame created by the canvas, and I have the button to import CSV file on that canvas. So all three are connected together. So I have connected it by calling it. And obviously when I'm going to call the function, it will be a back-end server, back-end service. So that is why it has been used on a back-end. So I have defined it, click add button, and now I have to end this, because main loop is a method to run infinite number of loops. Okay, and a method to run application till window is not closed. So it will run as long as the window is not closed, this main loop, which is main loop to root, and root, as I said many times, it is the main object, main window. That is how you're going to end this whole program. Mainly you have to use the main loop as a standard to run the infinite number of loops, and also to run the application till it has not been closed. Okay, so it's the whole details, the whole widget details are in front of you. The main purpose is to create the button by using the user graphical interface. And user graphical interface, what I have done, just give you a recap, importing the tkinder and naming it as the groundbreaking, importing all the modules, file dialog, scroll text, ttk, importing all, and also the importing pandas as well, creating instant and title. Okay, and my instant and title for the GUI is Python GUI using pack, and I'm using pack as well. So setting window size, just setting it the window size in pixels, then again calling it by the method pack, and widget details, the label or label entry text, enter the text, okay, radio buttons, scroll text with the widget details in front of you, and inserting the text in that scroll text, and also the spin box, and all being called by the same method pack, and also adding the menu. Adding menu, use menu class, and also you can have, as I said earlier, you can just create this menu or any other title menu. You have to use the same syntax. So 3 standards are common: add, command, cascade, and config. You have to use this as a must to have that main menu button. And add tab control just to move from one point to another. Frame, sub widget frame to main frame. It's the canvas, groundbreaking.canvas, and you can have any other whatsoever, but also it's the canvas.pack, and also it's the fetch CSV, okay, and fetch CSV means it is global DF, and import file path, it has also been given this, and click that button, groundbreaking.button. This is all being done. You have to just click it, and afterwards I'm going to have that user interface. I'm going to click it, and it may actually take me to the CSV file, and after having the CSV file, the results will be displayed on the console, and yet again I can use as many pandas, as many data frames according to my requirements, and that is the whole lot of the program. So also I've explained the data frames as early in my last video. So just I'm in a position to run this program. So let's see what will be the result. Execution time is not been shown. I'll able to run some other video, some showing some of the runtime or the execution time, and with the coding for that as well. So let's see for just at this point of time what is the result that we have from our program. So this is the result, okay. So I can actually, my first GUI application, I can name, just inserting the text. I have inserted that text, okay. So I have to it was entry text. Entry text was, I can entry text like thanks, thanks family and friends, and that includes all family, your parents, all the stuff. I'll use to thank it. Obviously I have it as my first program, and you can have it. I can also say happy birthday to me, or that is also some of also you can have any text. You can according to the my first GUI application, so you can have it bingo, okay. So that is also, you can have it. Also you can tap this by the tab control. Obviously you can move to another ranking 1, then again ranking 2, ranking 3. You can have this one as well. You can name rank 1, rank 2. I have named rank 1, rank 2, rank 3, but obviously when this I'm going to run some of the more complex videos, this will serve as a basis for connecting some of the other interfaces, or the other pages might in case of web pages, but it is also one of the important wanna have codes as low as $9.99. I have named it. You can, if you want to have codes, you can send me the quotation, and I can actually give you the coding as well. So this was the scroll box, scroll text, that is why it's been used that way. I can have the scroll like in front of you, okay. So this is like the scroll text box altogether concept, and with the spin button, obviously this is the spin button. You can have 1, 2, 3 you can name it anyway. Obviously it may help, obviously when it will be connected it will help more actually you can say a general program will be run when it will be connected together to the more requirements and also to the more scenarios as well. So Python GUI using pack is the title. Okay, mainframe, about us, I told you. I've created the menu button as well in that about us. I've told you that tear off is used to actually delete the dotted lines above the about us. That is why I've actually created this. And tab control, I've already mentioned you the concept. So this is the canvas. The yellow is in canvas, and the mainframe is the frame or the sub-widget frame to the mainframe, and which I've named as my first GUI application, and altogether the main window object which has been created with the help of the root, and I named it as Python GUI using pack. So this is all the stuff. Now I'm going to click it. Hello world, my first button to import CSV. I'm going to, I may actually use it, import staff, this one. I actually have the CVS file. So when I'm going to open it, it may display me the result as well. So let me close this one, and when I'm going to have it, it will show me this. So this is the result from that 3 rows into 14 columns. I must have the execution, the runtime as well. I may run it when I'm going to have the other pandas video. I may show you that as well. So this was the CSV file, and it may show me how, with the links as well, the UR active and the last name and the Jones and this all that stuff. So this is how it has been created. I have actually imported all the stuff from this as well. So let me move again towards that this one. So this is all my first GUI application. I may actually help to produce more logical, more business oriented, and more I can say business oriented, and also industry relevant videos that may actually help to produce actually coding, help to produce programming on industry scale as well. So that is our main target, just to provide the industry level services. And this is just a basis. We're going to provide further. We're going to help you guys just get what we have actually, what we're going to provide obviously at for our as an entity as well. So it may help you actually get or gauge our services. So I'll hope to see you with some other interesting video with other interesting concept. Obviously continuation of this video, there will be some other interesting concepts as well. So hope to see you in some another short time. Thank you very much. Take care and have a nice day.